This repair video applies to any 2008 through 2019 Ford Fiesta of any trim level in the US market. Are you having difficulties shutting your hood even though it seems like you're using excessive force? Does your alarm keep going off at random times? Do you see this hood open warning occasionally as you're driving down the road? Let me show you how to fix all that. The only tool you're going to need for this job is a 10mm wrench. It certainly helps if you have the kind that ratchets on the circular end, but it's not necessary for the job. It'll just make it go faster. The first thing we need to do is remove the electrical connector from the hood latch. This is actually for the alarm sensor, so if you locate the push tab on the left side of the connector, just squeeze that with your thumb and pull it right off. The next thing we're going to need to do is remove the pull cable. So you're going to want to pop the cable housing out of its clip using your thumb and then pull the cable stopper out of the keyhole, just like that. Next we need to remove the two 10mm bolts. So grab your 10mm wrench, and again, if you have the ratcheting kind, this is going to go a lot faster, but it's not necessary. And then make sure you hold the tip of the bolt in with your other finger so that you don't drop the bolt down into the engine compartment. Once you remove the bolt, make sure to put it somewhere safe and go ahead and remove the other bolt. Now that you've got everything disconnected, you can go ahead and remove the old part. If you look at the pins for the electrical connector on this old part, you can see the one on the right is corroded. This is why the alarm keeps going off, because these cars have a sensor that sets the alarm off if anyone's trying to pry open the hood. And here's the new part. It's a genuine Ford part. I got mine on eBay, and I'll put the part number in the description. If you look at the pins for the electrical connector on this new part, you can see they both look the same and there's no corrosion. So now we can go ahead and install the new part. You want to line up the holes on the new part with the holes on the mounting bracket. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and screw in the 10mm bolts, and at first you won't need the wrench. Leave the bolts loose enough to allow you to move the hood latch up and down. This is so you can adjust the position of the hood latch when you tighten the bolts down later. You want to be able to move the whole part up and down just like that. Now you can get your 10mm wrench and hold the hood latch all the way up while tightening the bolts incrementally. I don't have torque specs for these, just use your best judgment. Don't tighten them so tight that you start stripping the threads, but don't leave them loose enough to allow the hood latch to drop if you slam the hood shut. To attach the pull cable, just push the cable stopper into the keyhole and pull it to the right to make sure it's nice and snug. Then line up the cable housing with its clip and pop it in. After that, you can plug the electrical connector back in. Make sure you hear that nice click. Make sure you can't just pull it back off. And that's it. The new part's installed. You should now be able to close your hood and it should line up perfectly. Just like that. There should be no more hood open warning when you're driving around. And most importantly, the alarm should stop going off at random times.